Greetings, greetings. Hope everybody is well, and I hope that you are swell. Welcome to the episode 20, where we have the very special guest, the one, the only, the king. How are you, mate?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you guys doing today?
Dandy as ever.
Yeah, I'm always fantastic. Always fantastic.
Yep.
Love that. Love that.
Oh God, that's not a good
Oh.
start. My Oh, just oh my God, there we go. Just in case for the people that don't know the king, would you mind just to sort of give yourself a little introduction?
Yeah, for sure. My name is King. Oh, I guess I can't say this in the future anymore, but I am a fog whisperer for Dead by Daylight. I guess as of today, I'm actually a creator. I'm part of the creator program, so that's gonna be a little bit getting used to. But I mainly do YouTube content. I splice it in with some Twitch and TikTok and all those other platforms. You may have seen me from some of my interviews with the devs, or maybe some of the game shows that I've done in the past or just making news videos or tutorials in general. But been playing DBD since 2016 since it came out and been enjoying it every step of the way. So, in case you don't know me, great to meet you.
Amazing. Um, God, I didn't realize you've been playing Dead by Daylight for that long, King. That's a
Yeah,
long time.
that
That's a long
that is
commitment.
a long, long time. I started playing when I was in high school. That's crazy to think about, and here I am now. So it's
Oh
almost
God.
10 years. That's insane.
Yeah. God, I was 17 when I came out then. Bloody hell.
Yeah,
A
I
lot
was
has happened. I've
16.
got,
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
long time.
yeah, geez, I've become a dad. I got a house. Oh, mate, time goes
Yeah.
way too quick.
I used to have
Jesus.
hair when I started playing
Oh man.
DBD and all.
Is that the reason why you've got no hair then,
Probably,
is
yeah,
it?
probably now, yeah.
Yeah.
um, so we're gonna have a little bit of fun to start off with. So Metal, didn't you have a very unique question
I
for King?
mean, it
Ooh.
can be quite. This is, I think, it's quite a serious question. This is
Oh,
like,
right, okay.
Mm,
like,
sure.
I don't know. You're ready for this?
I mean, I can
Pineapple,
brace my
pineapple on pizza. Yes or no?
Ooh, you see, so here's the thing.
He's gonna
I'm a
try
New
and justify
Yorker.
it now.
No, listen, I'm a New Yorker, so it's pizza it's like number one for us. The thing is, if you get pineapple on pizza, you have to get it with another topping, and I think if you get it with chicken,
Mm.
it's not bad. It's pretty good. If you get it alone, especially those big slices,
Yeah,
it's a little bit
It's
weird. But if
weird.
you get them like minced up and you get it with like some chicken, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It depends on how you get your pizza, but I have
Right,
some
okay.
weird I'm the picky first of all, I'm the pickiest eater ever. Like, if there's a picky eater chart, I guarantee you I'm more picky than anybody else, but I do love me some pineapple on pizza. But I have
Yeah.
weird pizza toppings too. Like, I like broccoli on pizza too, and everybody looks at me weird, but it's so delicious. Don't
That
knock
would
it
be
till you
nice
try
though.
it.
Yeah, that would
It
be
is
nice.
nice,
yeah,
and people don't like, they just make fun of me, and I'm like, "You haven't even tried it. It's so good."
yeah. I like
Yeah.
broccoli on pizza as well. I love it, and I
I've
like
never
Oh,
pineapple.
good, okay.
Mm,
This is a safe space then.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
happy.
I love broccoli on pizza. I find it delicious.
Well, I
Oh,
see.
it's great.
I don't like pineapple on pizza personally. My mum does, but I'm
Mm,
not a big fan. But I've never tried broccoli on pizza, but I could only assume it would taste nice because I do like
Mm,
it is
broccoli.
good.
yeah.
It is.
But I know some people have anchovies and stuff like that on pizza, and I think, oh, that's a little bit weird
Yeah,
for
that's
me.
a little bit too far. That's a little bit too far.
Yeah. Um, right. So a question from me to you. So if you were
Mm,
drawn in by the entity and you had to
ooh,
and you could be part of a group of survivors, who would you choose to be on your team? Now these could be either the survivors that's
ooh,
in the game anyway, or other content creators, and you can bring them into the suffering with you. Who would they be and why?
ooh. That's a tricky one. You see, as much as I would like to pick my other content creator friends, I feel like I'm just damning them for eternity of pain. So maybe I won't pick any of my friends.
Oh,
If
see,
I
I
had to
would
pick
pick
survivor,
metal
who's
straight away.
Yeah, because
you're
he
like, if
hates
I
me.
had the summer, so does he. Oh man, it's funny. I was actually working on a question similar to this one, where I asked the community who would they want in their trial. It's for a little project I'm working on. So I kind of answered this question before myself. I think I have to go in Meg because Meg is just my main, so I gotta put her in there, and I mean, she's an athlete, she's gonna be running quickly, she knows how to get these trials done.
Yeah.
At that point, I feel like I gotta tap in a little bit to the licensed characters just because I feel like they would give me the best edge, like Cheryl Mason, they're powerful
Yeah.
characters, like, they rivaled the entity in some cases, so I think I gotta get her. I feel like you gotta get Lara Croft, she survives everything, like,
Yeah.
it's just canon that she survives, and maybe Nick Cage just because he'll be fucking amazing. He'll just be so charismatic, so I think I gotta put him in, so when we're about to die, at least I'll get a one-liner or something. I think those would
That's a
be my 3.
that's a good shout. But the entity is feeling very generous, and they're also offering you the chance to pick the killer that you can go up against.
Ooh.
Who would you choose?
You know what? We should take the Legion so we could beat them up. I feel like if anybody would have a chance to do something, it would have to
Yeah.
be the Legion, right? Like, everybody
That's a
else is gonna
really
whoop
good
our
shout.
ass,
Mm.
but Legion, I feel we could team up on them.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh, that
man.
would be funny. Oh, the survivors now become the killer.
Right?
Oh, geez. Oh,
Oh,
that's a
man.
really good shout, though, because I was thinking of the Trapper because he's
Mm,
quite easy to deal with. But yeah, I didn't think
yeah.
of the Legion. That's a really good. That's a really good shout. Um, for
Yeah.
me personally, I would drag Metal into it because I think it'd just be
Mhm.
hilarious.
Have
I
to,
would
have to.
have Nick Cage again with the voice lines. I think he would be
Yeah.
funny as anything.
So cool,
Um,
yeah.
Leon Kennedy, he's my
That's a good
go-to,
one.
and I love Resident Evil. Um,
Mhm.
if I had to bring a third, who would it be? Hmm, I'd
It's a
probably pick
tricky one.
Clay.
There is a good cast. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good one, actually, yeah.
yeah. Metal, have you got any preferences?
Yeah, I'd definitely, because again, massive Resi fan. So it'd be Jill, Leon, and probably Ada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
was thinking about picking Ada as well. I
Mhm.
was like, yeah, she might be a good one too.
Yeah,
And she can look after me, you know what I mean? She can fight the killer.
she can look after
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
of course. Oh man.
Oh, but yeah, so onto the serious stuff then, I guess. So obviously you've been in connections with the devs for quite some time now. So what is it actually
Mhm,
like to be able to have that access to the devs and be able to forward any sort of, especially community questions as well?
mhm.
What is that like from an outside perspective?
So originally, I guess I could fully talk about these things now. We had a Discord. This was the Fog Whisper Discord where all of the Fog Whispers were included, and there were multiple developers in there. Throughout the years, whoever was in there kind of shifted. We have had a lot of different people. I won't name drop too much,
Hmm.
folks. Um, but as of recently, like you may have seen, like Eric Pope on a stream, he's in there, and more people that's related to community. I don't know everybody that's really shown their face on stream, so I won't
Yeah.
name them in case they get mad at me. But essentially, we had different sections. Whether it was if there's a bug going on, we can show them the bug in there, and then someone be like, okay, like we see this, it's either already on the list or we're going to work on a fix for it. Maybe there's questions that are like, hey, like this chapter's coming out. Can we get some key art assets or something like this before it officially comes out so we can make some thumbnails, things like that? If there was a hacker or somebody like that, or someone that's really been plaguing the game that we ran into, there was also a section for there where we could kind of almost get it prioritized. But it's not, none of these things are like guaranteed. Like we put it in
Yeah.
there and boom, they just get automatically resolved essentially. It still goes through the process that pretty much everybody has to go through when they report it on the forums or anything like that. So it's still a lengthy process to get these things done. And over the years, this has really changed because of different members that are in and out. Sometimes there's different community managers, so they have to now get used to, um, who we are, what's going on, what the game's about, etc., and then diverse from there and figure out what they have to do. But essentially, that's how it is. And then like what they've gotten really good at recently is like if we're working on any cool projects or anything that's up and coming, like let them know and they'll try their best to sort something out for you guys. And I feel like for a lot of us, we never really utilized that a lot previously, and especially now that they're really pushing for that. As for me, I know I'm trying to utilize it as much as I can. I recently went to behavior, and that's because I did this really long subathon, and one of the rewards that I had was I'll try to go to behavior. So I literally just asked the community manager, "Hey, can I come?" And they're like, "Yeah, of course." So that's kinda how that all went down. So to answer your question, it's really nice. It's
Yeah.
definitely a very awesome privilege, I'd say, and, I'm happy that they're now opening the door for a lot of other content creators to be able to get in and access some of these cool things as well, because for the longest time, it's only been us 40, I'd say? Of English speakers, maybe like 25. So I'm really
Right.
happy
Okay.
we're gonna be getting a lot more. But it's been really nice. It is
Yeah.
a definitely, like I said, a privilege. And I always tell my community and even the devs that I think it's the ultimate way to bridge the gap between the community and the devs themselves. And this is like the perfect avenue because I'm not really lenient towards either side. So if the devs say something that I'm not a big fan of, I'll tell the community. If the
Yeah.
community says something that I'm not a big fan of, I'll tell the devs. There's no bias towards any side. So
Yeah.
I
Because
just
I
say it
think
how it is, and I think it's the best way to kind of address everything. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, no, sorry. Yeah, because obviously when we did the one of our previous episodes with Paulie, I said because
Mhm,
obviously my basic understanding from as a fog whisperer was you were that bridge between the normal players, I guess, and behavior themselves. So you were the ones that
mhm,
you were like the messenger. We would bring out suggestions, blah 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 blah. You would bring it to behavior, and then vice versa. Um,
right.
Obviously, what's your because obviously, like you mentioned, obviously the Fog Whisperer now is sort of amalgamated into this. The is it? I can't remember what it's called. Is the Content Creation Club? I think, or something like that.
It is the DBD creator program.
Creator program. So, what's your opinion of that then? Because obviously, the Fog Whisperers
Mhm,
technically now is no more. You're still going to be the pillars, I guess.
yeah.
But what's your obviously opinion on that?
Oh, it's terrible. No, kidding. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I was gonna say, oh, it's getting spicy there.
No, no, it actually is really good. So essentially the entire community team has been changed. So pretty much people that we've worked on with before with like Fog Whispers, with the exception of a few, have been moved to different projects or they're working at different companies, whatever the case may be. And there is a new like head essentially, and she is absolutely amazing. I've had the privilege of meeting her when I went to Toronto, and then we went to Montreal together, and then when I was at PAX, I got to meet her again, and she has a very, very clear cut vision of what she wants to do. And she has a whole new team now of essentially people that are direct points of contact, and they help us do so many of these things. And there's so much more opportunities and cool things that they're working on within this creator program that we just didn't have in the Fog Whisperer program.
Yeah,
And I think for the final kind of few years of the Fog Whisperer program, it was a little bit shaky. You know, like there wasn't really too much of a sense of direction. And this isn't to throw any of the previous devs under the bus. I think that it just was a little bit all over the place. And, you know, there were once in a while we had some things going on, but it slowly started to become nothing, essentially, where
yeah.
it's like, okay, you know, like every month we essentially just get some codes to give away to the community. We would get our blood points that we can have for PTBs, and that was it. Now it's much, much, much more than that. So it's very, very awesome. And I'm happy that they've made this change. My only grievance is the logo. I told them I wasn't a big fan of the logo, so we'll see if
Yeah.
they make any changes or if I get kicked out for saying that. No, I won't. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's a misconception that people have. I won't go too much into it, but I know there's a lot of people that are like, people get their Twitch shirts removed for being critical, or people lose Fog Whisper status. It's like that is never, ever, ever the case. Just does not happen. Period. And there's always a very, very big reason for something like that to happen. Bigger than the game, I'd say. It's not a game
Yeah.
issue. It's something bigger than that. So
Because
yeah.
like if that was the case, so let's say hypothetically, let's say I had a Twitch shirt and I disagreed with the
Mhm,
facts or whatnot they've stated, and I had my
mhm.
Twitch shirt removed because of said conversation or whatnot, it would seem too petty for a company like
Yeah.
Behavior to do. So there's got to be
Yep.
something. in the background that's a lot bigger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's definitely the case. So I see that misconception going on quite a lot,
Mm,
and yeah, it just is never the case for just criticism. You're being critical.
yeah,
Yeah, it's bigger than the game. There is I don't think any point in time there's something that happened, like, in game where you being critical about the game where someone loses that, and that goes for a multitude of people, actually. There was quite a few people that that has happened to, but yeah, won't get too much into the details with everybody, but
yeah, yeah,
that's their own
yeah.
stories to tell,
Because
but yeah.
I know Paulie, he's open. He's an open book. If
Yeah.
something is wrong with a game, he voices his opinion.
Mhm.
Um, and obviously he hasn't lost his Fog Whisperer status. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, obviously congratulations as well. You did recently hit, was it 120,000 subscribers onto it? On YouTube.
I did, yeah, that happened not too long ago. I think I'm at 123 now, so that was a big milestone. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I've been pretty happy about it. I'd say for the past forever, essentially. I've kind of just been coast. I like once in a while I'll make like a decent video, but I've never been super happy with the amount of stuff that I've done, and I've never really
Mm,
had a schedule. I never took it like I took it seriously, but not to the level where I wanted it to go.
yeah.
And this year, I really said I'm gonna buckle down and try to do my best and give it like 110% and just see what happens. And it has been truly amazing so far. So I'm very thankful and appreciative, and thank you. I do appreciate
No,
that as
no,
well.
anytime. Yeah, because the first time I ever saw you on a podcast was with Mr. Gims.
Mm,
Um,
hmm.
I got loads of time and respect for Gims. I used to watch his streams on YouTube, and obviously
Yeah, he's great.
when he started doing his podcast, obviously he did the teaser for you, and I got so excited. He
Hmm.
did one for Paulie, Choi, this and that. So obviously
Yeah.
when we did Paulie, I did sort of give him a little nudge. I said, "Does it be anyone that might be down to do this?" And he
Yeah.
1000% recommended within a heartbeat yourself. I thought, right, I better shoot my chance here. And again, thank you ever so much for coming on.
Of course, it's I love doing these. These are super fun. I always said that if there's one point in time where I would feel super happy is when people listen to like a podcast or a sit down interview for me. Like that
Mm.
would be my full circle moment. So I always appreciate these.
Yeah, because it is a massive thing because obviously like with us, for example, we are relatively new to this. This is our 20th episode, which is a
Woo!
milestone for us. We might have to pull out the birthday suit soon, I think. Um, but yeah, just being able to have like yourself on, Paulie on as well. These are humongous milestones for us. And yeah, we really do appreciate it.
Of
Um,
course.
Obviously with Dead by Daylight currently, so obviously I assume that you've streamed the PTB. What's your
Yes.
opinion?
Yes.
Yeah, what's your opinion on FNAF?
Yeah, FNAF's a big one. FNAF's a really, really big one. I knew that going into it, it was gonna be huge, but like when I saw the PTB numbers, it was insane, man. Like they were close to breaking the record on like Steam charts on PTB. I mean, like we got 90K players, and the
Jeez.
previous record was like what 30, I think 38 for Kaneki. So that's
Hmm.
almost double of that. For the content itself, I'm pretty happy about it. I know, like, maybe the diehards for FNAF, they aren't too happy with, like, the Mori or the power, but I think what DBD has done, first of all, like, everything got approved by Scott. So, I don't really think there's any person to blame if Scott's the one that's like, "Yeah, this is good. This is what we're gonna go
Yeah.
with." I think what they've managed to do here was create a power that was relatively simple enough for all the new players to quickly understand and be like, okay, this is how we use it. It's super simple, boom, which is a good thing. And it has a high enough skill ceiling for the experienced players or players learning the game a lot more or getting so sucked into DVD because of FNAF to really experiment and get some crazy, crazy things going. Like his skill ceiling is so high. You can get some crazy shots with crap. And overall, I think the chapter is it's pretty good. I am a little disappointed with the skins. Like I think everyone was kind of expecting maybe like a Foxy skin or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. So a little disappointed there. However, I think for what it is, I honestly feel that if this chapter does amazing, which it will do, we might even get a part 2. That's my guess. In like a year
Yeah.
or 2 from now, I feel like that's something that will happen. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the chapter. I think most people are happy with it. I think there'll always be people, no matter what Dead by Daylight does, that won't be fully satisfied, but
Yeah.
that comes with the territory. And I am a fan of it. I am a fan of it. I think they did a really, really, really good job with it. And yeah, it's really cool. What about you guys? How do you feel about the chapter overall?
So I streamed the PTB, and
Mhm.
I brought Metal to be my guinea pig, basically, which
Nice.
normally goes that way. So our initial thoughts were the character design itself. I thought was really cool.
Mhm.
The power is because obviously they advise that the power is going to be completely unique. There is a lot of similarities to other
There
killers.
is.
Obviously, Huntress is the first one. Obviously, with the axe,
Mhm.
I can completely understand why he can't throw the axe nowhere near as far as Huntress because it's an
Mhm.
axe, not a hatchet.
Yeah.
I think again it would be Huntress 2.0 if he had the ability to obviously teleport around the map. It would just be a
Right.
better version of Huntress. Um, I did find though initially the axe was a little bit lackluster personally.
Mm.
Um, but then I've been seeing videos online where people are hitting these crazy shots or around loops, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh shit, you can do that now. I was like,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
okay, so there is a little bit of a learning curve here. So
Mhm.
again, I think it's just the more you spend time with a certain character or killer, the more you truly realize their full potential.
Yeah.
Like Huntress, me and Metal used to main Huntress. He's got more hours under his belt than me, and
Mhm.
he's taught me everything. And you could find little nooks and crannies to throw the hatchet through. And
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
it just comes with time to obviously play with that killer. Metal, what was your opinion on?
Like, generally, at first, when we played it, I wasn't that impressed by it. Like, generally. Then the
Mhm.
more I thought about it, and they've done a really good job on it. Actually, now I'm
Mhm,
thinking about it, especially like the animation side when you go into the actual security office, like
Mhm.
again, it's really
that bit is
impressive.
so cool.
Yeah, it is
It is
impressive,
so cool.
especially when you're playing Springtrap. You can go in and catch the survivor in there. It's like a really good little
Yep.
mechanic they done. And like go with the axe as well. It's like it is a bit more of a skill set into it because the flight speed. Because if
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
compare Huntress axe, it's fairly slow flight speed, but this Springtrap
Mhm.
one, it goes rapid.
Instant. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
rapid. I didn't realise until I actually picked up and threw it how quick it is. And going
yeah,
against it
Mhm.
as a survivor is a lot harder to dodge.
especially around
Yeah.
Shack.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
because I was sort of playing around Shack. If you can get the flick round the Shack down the obviously the long side, you can't dodge it because it moves that
no,
Yeah.
quick. But obviously you got to get the flick going. But
yeah,
yeah, like I was actually more impressed by it than I thought initially.
yeah. We did do some really goofy stuff
Oh
though.
yeah,
So
yeah.
obviously, obviously, Spring the animatronics add-on. I can't remember what it's called, but it basically gives you the survivor and the killer 20% haste.
Mm.
The speed
So
boost. Yeah.
yeah, so we thought, right, let's test this to the extreme. So I
Oh
was
man.
running. So we did Boondock Theory. We did Hope. We did Resilience, and what else did we? Oh, Blood Pact,
Yeah,
and
we
there
done
was
a
Oh
bunch of
another one.
man.
combinations on it. A bunch of
Yeah,
combination. Like Champion of
and
Light as well. We used on
Champion
it.
and Light fixated.
Did
Just we tested it, and he couldn't catch up to me. It was amazing.
mm,
He got to the point where
That's
I started chasing him.
yeah. He literally nearly lapped me round Shack. I can't remember what
oh
combo
my
we had
god.
on, but at
Yeah,
one point he was moving that quick. He nearly lapped me as I was going round Shack.
Jeez.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's insane.
It was fun though. But even like going up against him, there's so many things now you have to learn to keep an eye out for. Because already
Mhm.
I've seen build for Silent Springtrap. That caught me
Yeah.
way off guard. Like Jesus, I'm normally quite
Yeah. That's the
self-aware.
way I go. Yeah.
Yeah, and I must admit I am quite jumpy as well. I don't mean to or intend to, but I am quite jumpy. Metal,
Mhm.
he's just if something jumps at him, he
No, I'm
just stays
stone
there
wall,
with it.
like stone wall. I
Yeah.
just don't move.
Same. Me
Yeah.
same.
Mhm.
No, I'm very jumpy. But yeah, overall, the more I dabble into it and the more like sort of content I see about it, the more satisfied I become.
Mhm.
Because for me, I like to delve into something. So if I want to learn, like
Right.
Hunter, for example, I spend countless hours trying to learn as much as I possibly can until I get sick of them, basically.
Yeah.
Um, but is there obviously any sort of chapters in the future that you would love to see in DBD?
Yeah. They've been good at hitting things off the list. Like,
Hmm.
when Stranger Things originally came out, I just got into Stranger Things and I really wanted it. And like the next week, they're like, Stranger Things is coming. I'm like, oh shit. Back in the days when it was really bad and people used to like tunnel you when they saw you in game, I changed my
Oh.
name to Nancy Wheeler. Nancy Wheeler ended up coming in the game. Then my name was Laura Croft. Now Laura Croft's in the game, so my list is getting really, really small here. Um, Witcher, they added Witcher, and I absolutely
Yeah.
love Witcher. Anytime that I do like one of those games where you have to create a character, I always make a character based on Siri, so I'm super pumped up for that. So my list is really, really small. I guess if I had to be, like, super biased, like, they can just bring in anything from Soft Dark Souls related, I want. I'd say Game of Thrones, that would be a really cool one. If we're just talking about, like, horror itself, I feel like for me, it would have to be Megan. I think she's up there. Um,
Oh, that's
and one
the
thing that
female robot thing in it.
yeah, like the robot, like the Chucky variation,
Yeah.
essentially. Um the final one that I feel like I may have started this one and now it's grown a lot is definitely anything from the Conjuring series, whether it's Ed and Lorraine coming as survivors or the nun coming as a killer. I watched like I'm a big fan of paranormal horror. Um and I watched The Nun when it originally came out, and for whatever reason, I somehow connected all the dots with what Dead by Daylight was teasing at the time, which I think it was like The Spirit or something like that. It had nothing to
Mm.
do with it. And I connected the dots so perfectly that it really made it seem like The Nun was coming. And the
Yeah.
video blew up, and then everybody starts talking about The Nun, and some of the devs reached out to me, and they were laughing, like, "How did you even connect the dots with this one?" But since then to now, it's been like a theory that people has always had that they want the nun to come into the game, and
Yeah.
hopefully that started some sparks internally, and we can get something like. So I think that would probably be my number one. I always, if it was like a game, I think Evil Within has always been up there. Getting like the Keeper or Sebastian, that'd be cool. Um, but yeah, my list is very small now. It's very, very small. They've definitely hit the mark with almost every now, especially with Witcher recently. Like, I never thought we'd get something like Witcher, and I am super pumped up for that.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like for me, I think as
Mhm.
a survivor, I would. Now, this is me being again biased, but
Yeah,
I would love. I don't know if you've ever seen the film Underworld.
I think I've heard of it, but I don't recall now.
So the main protagonist in there, I can never remember her character name, but her real life name is Kate Beckinsale. Um, and she was one of my first crushes when I was a kid. So she's a vampire in all this latex. She's badass. She's like
Oh,
John
I
Wick
think I
with
know what you're talking.
evil.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think yeah, I know what you're talking about now. It's ringing a
Yeah,
bell.
I would love to see her in there. That would create a new main for me. I was surprised that The Walking Dead has been announced. Well, not announced, but it's been sort of teased
Yeah,
in the little Easter eggs. I'm surprised they haven't done it sooner, though. I must admit, because obviously The Walking Dead's sort of
yeah.
finished for a good while,
Mhm.
but better late than never. Killer wise, I'm stumped because for me they've added a lot of the main killer franchises. Like you got
Mhm.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you got Hellraiser. I can't really think of any major big ones, like especially
It's
Alien as
tough.
well. It is
Yeah.
tough. I would like to see more original killers because for me, when they released The Unknown, the marketing was phenomenal. The release trailer
Yeah.
for it was terrifying.
Mhm.
The killer design, I find him. I think people find him underwhelming, but when you actually look into the actual power itself, he is a really strong killer, especially if you can
Yeah.
utilize his teleporting mechanics. I love
Mhm.
the unknown. But yeah, I would love to see more original killers and just see how deep they can go on the creative side of that. And I always look forward to new chapters, especially as a
Yeah.
streamer, because it gives us more stuff to cover. So,
Yep. True.
Metal, is there any sort of people you would like to have added?
Well, I like to see, like, say, Dark Souls or like Elden Ring, because there is some
Yeah.
bosses in those games. Like, say, like Artorias from Dark Souls One. Like,
Mhm.
he could be a great killer. Like Artorias. We
Yeah.
have like the Dancer from Dark
That'd be
Souls
so
3.
cool.
We're having like
Oh my god.
Father
That would
Gascoigne
be
from
incredible.
Bloodborne. You know what I mean? Having like all these different bosses they have as killers. And then obviously the survivor can be just like a whatever from Elden Ring, could be like Melania
Yeah.
or something like that, some crazy. But
That'd be
definitely,
so cool.
yeah, like oh, it'd be amazing to have like Artorias as a killer,
Mhm.
because he's from the Dark Souls One DLC.
Artorias is badass.
Yeah, and he's my
He's
favorite. He's
badass.
my favorite boss from Dark Souls One. Well, I love going against him, but if I had a pick, I think it'd be Artorias, like 100% into the game.
Yeah, he's cool.
Or
Yeah,
even
'cause
like
you
Mentioned
did
Dancer. Dancer would be
Yeah,
amazing too.
Dancer
Yeah.
would be brilliant. I think
Yeah.
that's my favorite from Dark Souls 3 is Dancer. I love Dancer.
Mm-hmm.
Because you did a stream as well, King, didn't you? You did a joint stream when you were playing. I think it was Elden Ring,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, so I did Elden Ring with my friend Duffy Marksman, my friend for forever now. Yeah, he was the one that originally was playing DBD with me originally. We still do to this day. But yeah, we did a joint stream for Elden Ring. We play a lot of FromSoft games, like even they're all, single player. We played them side by side and just kind of like experienced them all together. So yeah, we went into Elden Ring and we did this thing with crowd control, which allows your community to like use either channel points or donate. And then they could like spawn bosses and stuff on you. So we're just walking around at the beginning of the game and someone spawns Radon and they're like, ah, pain. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looked like you had an absolute whale of a time, and because also I popped into the stream, I couldn't stay in
Hmm.
long because I had work, but it did look like you was having a whale of a time, and it was
Yeah,
good
it was really
content
good.
as well. But
Thank
yeah,
you.
also congrats on that stream as well, because I understand that was
Thank you. Thank you.
there was like a goal as well,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a fundraiser for TwitchCon, trying to just help us out to get there. So that's gonna happen middle October, I'd say.
Hmm.
So we were definitely set up where we'll get the nicest place they got now, thanks to the community. And a nice pool.
The old Brits.
Yeah.
Because I've never been to TwitchCon. What is
Mhm.
TwitchCon like? I can only have sort of imagine what it would be like, but what is it
Well,
like? Because you've been before.
I've never gone myself. I
Oh,
haven't.
have you
I've
not?
I've been to no, I've been to the only things that I've been to was I went to New York City Comic Con back in like 2018, I'd say, when I first met the devs, but I didn't really walk around. I was just kind of like straight to the DVD booth. Um, then right before the COVID, I went to PAX East, and that was like my real first convention. I tried to convince everybody to go, like Paulie and Mark and everybody else, and they did come, which was nice. So DVD didn't have a booth, so we kind of walked around. And in full honesty, it's a little bit boring. Like there's a lot of cool titles there. Like at the time, I think it was like just a few big names because right before COVID, a lot of people pulled out.
Yeah.
But there was like a Discord booth, things like that. I was a lot newer to the content creation scene, so what I realize now is that it's just a big opportunity for everybody to kind of network. So as a content creator, it's a great way to level yourself up. If you're going just to like experience it, meet like certain folks that are content creators or certain game devs, it's also great in that sense. But if you're going with like no sense of direction, at least for me, it's kind of like there's a lot of new games there, games that you
Yeah.
probably have never heard of. A lot of indie developers there, which is nice to see all their stuff, but it's not gonna be something like, "Oh my god, I know this, I know this, I know this is super cool." When I went this time, Dead by Daylight had their booth, and I went in more so with, like, a networking mindset, even though that didn't really come into fruition. But I really enjoyed the DVD booth. I was there for pretty much every single day. Right across, they had, like, a Elden Ring Night Rain booth, so that was super cool. I walked through the convention, but I'm not a big, like, D&D player, and there's a lot of D&D things. I'm not a big, like, card kinda guy. There's a lot of card games there. So for those things, like, board game-wise, things like that, if you're a fan of that, that's, like, amazing. Like, you will
Yeah.
absolutely love it. And if you do like those indie games and exploring, like, new titles, things like that, it's amazing for that. It really is. For me, I'm very boring, I guess is the right word to say. I'm not very adventurous when it comes down to these things. I like being in the city and exploring and seeing what it has to offer and the people that come because of these titles. Like I like seeing all my friends and all the devs, and that's about it. I'm not a big convention goer, I'd say. But with that being said, every single person that I've seen said that TwitchCon is like 50 times better. And I've never been to TwitchCon, and I got so much FOMO from that, and that's why we ended up trying to fundraise to go to TwitchCon because it is way really, really expensive. Like, I'm in New York, all the way in California, which is pretty much the other
Mm.
side of the fucking world. So it's a pretty penny, but it's
Yeah.
from what I've heard, it's really good. So we'll see. We'll see what it's like. I think TwitchCon's going right now in EU
Mhm.
right now. I think it's in Rotterdam. So that we'll see what it's like from the folks over there.
Yeah, because I think the closest sort of Twitch thing we had, so we did have a community meetup in Cardiff in South Wales more
Mhm.
recently, but it was on Mother's Day, and I was like,
Mhm.
I can't do this because
Yeah.
I got my partner and
Yeah.
I got my mum as well. But
Mhm.
even like from the images I've seen of that, it looked like everyone had a whale of a time, and plus there was a bar, so more
Yeah.
drinks the better.
Can't go wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I've always wanted to go to like Comic Con stuff like that. Because they do sell a lot of good shit there as well, like especially
They did.
collectible.
There were a lot of cool things. So when I went in Comic-Con, they had, like, Funko Pops, and they had, like, exclusive New York City Comic-Con exclusive Funko Pops. I didn't know much about them at the time.
Yeah.
When I went to PAX recently, oh my god, it was this really cool, like, keychain, but it was keycaps, and it said PAX 25, and you could, like, press the buttons, and they, like, lit up as you press the buttons, and I wanted one so bad, but I was working the DVD booth every day, so I went on the Sunday, and they're like, "Oh, no, sorry, we're sold out." I'm like,
Oh
"No."
no.
Mm.
There's so much cool things to buy. That I'll give them props for that. They know how to sell stuff, and there's so much cool things.
Yeah. Obviously, you've been doing content creation now way longer than me and Metal put together. Um,
Damn, makes me
yeah.
sound so old.
um, if you could bring some advice to like new
Mm,
streamers, up and coming streamers, what sort of platforms would you recommend? What sort of process would you recommend? Because like for me personally,
yeah.
so I've been doing quite well on Twitch. DVD has
Mhm,
been my forte because I think it's the
mhm.
perfect game to stream because each match in total there's 5 people, including yourself. If you got like Twitch in your name, most of the time people in the game are going to pop over. Hopefully,
Yeah,
it's for a good reason. Um,
yeah.
but I'm trying to level up. Obviously, you're always trying to improve your streaming and your content creation.
Mhm,
But I'm sort of at that hill now where I'm like, I don't know what else to do. So for any sort
right.
of like up and coming streamers or beginning content creators, what's
Mhm.
your sort of word of advice if you had to give one?
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Let me get my
Uh,
notepad and
if you're
pen.
No, but if you're brand new to it, like let's say you're trying to just get into it, I'd say you have to go in with the right mindset. I think now, especially with the market being so saturated, especially if you're looking to do this long term, you can't go in with the mindset of, okay, this is going to be like my career. I'm going to make money off of this. You have to have a passion for it. I tell
Mhm,
people straight up now that if you don't have a passion for this, don't do it because it is a lot of work. It really is. My partner and I, she always tells me she works a 9 to 5. She tells me I work harder than her, and I said, "There's absolutely no way." But then she breaks it down to all the things that I do, and it is a lot. I would never say it's harder than 9 to 5, but it is a lot. You have to network, you have to make your thumbnails, you have to be your own PR person, you need to have a schedule, you need to be disciplined with everything. It's a lot, and that's not even scratching the surface. For the sake of growing your content, there needs to be continuity when it comes with scheduling. Consistency is probably the biggest element that I struggle with, and that's something that I need to work on personally. But it's something that I think as long as you keep at it, you will naturally just see growth if you are doing something that people want to watch. Because the like I said, it's super saturated right now. So if you're
mhm.
just popping on and playing Dead by Daylight, that's only going to take you so far. Especially if people don't care about you.
Yeah.
You need to make the people care about yourself and not the game that's attached, which is a very, very hard thing to do. So when I look at it, for example, when it comes down to content creation, I try to think of something and do something that either has been done before, but I can perfect and make even better, or something that's completely brand new to this scene. And I think those are the videos that definitely helped me out the most. So when I first started out, I just used to do news, right? Um, it only takes you so far. Eventually, I was like, you know what? What is a way that I can, get these peaks when new chapters come out? Because my numbers would be super inflated when new chapter and new content comes out. What's a way that I can kind of capture that essence into a video when a chapter isn't around? And I created fan made chapters, and I was like, hey guys, like you submit your chapters, I'll make it into a video, I'll read it, and those videos blew up. Then I hit that stage again where I was like, damn, I don't know what to do. And I was like, maybe it's time to do some really good tutorials, like tutorials that really just puts everything together. There's no bullshit. I'm just jumping straight to the point. And then those videos did really good. Once again, I hit that kind of like, okay, you're at that stage again. What do you do? And then I was like, you know what? I don't think anybody's done game shows in Dead by Daylight. Let's try to do game shows. Did game shows, and that started like a whole different era of things in DBD. And for me, some of my most popular videos. So then now I'm at that stage again, and I'm like, what can I do? And that's why I tried to go to a lot of these events, trying to do it more of like a IRL kind of thing, schedule what I'm gonna do. And what I've started now, and I highly, highly encourage everybody to do, making short form content. I've been wanting to do short form content for a very long time, and I just never got into it because I thought it wasn't worth it. And when I went to PAX, I spoke to a lot of my content creation friends, and they're like, "You're missing out. Like, it is a cheat code." So sure enough, last week I started it, and I did it on 3 different channels because I wanted to see something. I did it on a channel that was completely brand new, 0 followers, 0 following, brand new on Instagram, mind you. I did one on my personal Instagram account. I wasn't going to, but I said, "You know what? Let's just toss it in."
Yeah.
And my TikTok. And I made 5 videos. 5 videos that I actually put in like 30 minutes to an hour of just like doing a little bit of research, making it at least entertaining, figuring something out, right? And of those 5 videos, 4 of them went viral on all 3 of the platforms, including the one that is brand new, has no following, has no nothing. Like in the video, I don't even introduce myself. You don't see my face. So unless you know my face, you don't even know it's me. You probably
Yeah.
won't. And those videos still ended up doing good. But short form content is a cheat code. And the little caveat to that is that you can't just post clips. Like I see people posting clips, and again, it's so saturated that the harsh truth is nobody cares. Like nobody
Yeah.
cares if you get a cool clip in DBD. The game's been out for 9, 10 years. People have seen everything now. So if you're gonna post like a cool flashlight save or a CJ Tech or the killer not seeing you or something like that, even if it's the coolest thing in the world, it's so much more difficult to get that to do better than it
Yeah.
is if you were to simply make a video like one of the videos that I made that again, like I was like, how has this not been made? Or maybe it has and I haven't seen it, was just all the working codes in Dead by Daylight. Every code that you could put in to get a skin. That's all I did. I looked it up. There was a thing online. They're like, here are all the working codes for March. Made it into a video. Boom. Video does well. I think it got like a quarter of a million, which is insane.
Bloody hell.
Um, yeah. And I've
Jesus.
never done short form at all, ever. So I was like, oh my God, I really need to get on it. So that's the second piece of advice. Go in with your heart, make yourself different and unique from the other competition, get on short form. And then the final thing would just be having everything in unison. Like if you want to step up to the next level, you need to have all of your accounts have a unison of what you're doing. Have a schedule every single week to your Discord or to your Twitter. I'm streaming this, I'm doing this today. Here's what we're doing on Friday. We're going to have a community night with only subs, with only followers, whatever the case may be. Have it so where all of your social medias have your links, they have your schedule, you have a link tree with all of your other things. Have a business email. On your business email, have a little I forgot what they're called, but like a little trademark that puts your logo and says, here are all my socials. So that way it looks very professional. Reach out to other companies. Say, hey, my name is Metal, and I'm looking to get, working with you guys because I want to get sponsored by your company, whether that's it doesn't matter. If it's Elgato, if it's Razer, whatever the case may be. This is what I do. Here's some of my content. Boom. 9 out of 10 times they won't reply, but it's taking you to that next step, and that's something that
Yeah.
I've been working on recently as well. You know, going to these events, like I said, that's probably been the number one thing that has helped me with content creation and building connections where they take you such a far way that you just can't get online. So, an example I can give you that probably my best one out of PAX, I went to I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Throne. Throne is
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
a, yeah, so for those that are watching that don't know, if you're a streamer, Throne is like this app where your community can go in, they can buy gifts off your wish list and send it to you. It's pretty automated, it's really nice. I saw the Throne booth and I went up there and I was trying to talk to them about, like, I think they had a partnership thing. I didn't even know about it. I tried to talk to them about partnership. Unfortunately, that conversation didn't go too good, but there was a guy on the side that I started talking to, and I told him, like, I'm working the DVD booth, blah, blah, blah. He's like, "Oh, does Dead by Daylight have merch?" I'm like, "Yeah, they got merch." He's like, "It'd be great if we can get Dead by Daylight merch onto our site." And I was like, "You know what? I can probably help you do that because I know some of the people. Give me your card, and I'll go and tell them." And I think I gave him my card as well. I don't remember. Went over to DBD, told them about it, and they're like, "Yeah, that sounds like a cool conversation. We'll do it." Sure enough, I come back from PAX and the guy's like, "Hey, like, we had some conversations with Dead by Daylight. I really appreciate that. If there's any brand out there that you want me to connect you with, let me know." And those are the kind of connections that you just can't make online.
Yeah.
So I think essentially it boils down to what stage you're at, and then you look at the criterias that I kind of said. There's a lot more, but you look at it and you're like, okay, where do I land on this? Am I ready to go to events? Maybe not. But can I create a schedule and tell my people that I'm going to be streaming every single time? Can I create short form content, etc.? And if you already are doing these things, you have to go to that unique aspect of it. Is my content unique enough where people would care, or is it me just playing the game? An example that I do, I have a wheel that I spin in the background of my streams. Or back in the days, I used to do something called stream loots where people can purchase packs and whatever pops up on the screen, I have to then do that. And it just creates a different and unique interaction. And of course, you can make it on brand to who you are as well. There are going to be those, outliers where people are just playing the game and they do good. And I think the best thing to do is not compare yourself to that because it is what it
Yeah.
is. It's outliers. You just have to figure what's unique to you and how you can capitalize on it. And I think that's probably the best advice. Consistency is key though. That
Yeah.
is number one. But
Yeah.
all of those things together comes back to the first point of being consistent and having your heart in it. So I guess those are essentially my 5 points. I rambled on there a little bit,
No,
but
no, no,
those are
it's
like my
okay.
five main points
No, it's
of
okay.
of content creation.
Yeah, because I obviously because I had a chat with Paulie. I asked him basically the same question, and he said some very similar stuff. And I said
Mhm.
to him because I used to don't get me wrong, I used to do it. I used to compare myself to other streamers and get
It's natural
bummed
for
out
that to
about it.
happen, though. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you sort of realize that comparison is the thief of joy. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
Just do what you think
Mhm.
is best for you, and then just keep leveling up, and
Yep.
hopefully, eventually, it may happen. If it doesn't
Yeah.
happen, at least you can say you tried. That's the main
Yeah.
thing.
That's the number one thing. So for me, it was like I was very naive when I came into Twitch. I thought it was gonna be, like, so easy to get, like, 75 viewers, get partner, boom, and that didn't happen. I got a quick reality check with everything, and I always used to joke with my friends, and I was like, "Oh, no, if I really wanted it, I coulda got in." They would laugh at me because they're like, "No, you can't. You're not consistent enough, you're not gonna do this." And one day I decided, "You know what? I am gonna do this. I'm gonna stop comparing myself to everybody. I'm gonna stop saying that I can just easily get it." And I buckled down, and I got to the point where I was consistently hitting 75. I was consistent with my streams. I was doing unique things. People cared and they came out, and I just kept getting declined for partner. And before I did like my whole partner push and everything, I was like, you know what? I want to just give this 110%. So even if it doesn't happen, I can say, you know what? I did as much as I possibly can, and
Yeah,
it just didn't happen. And at that point, I feel you're either 9 out of 10 times, like, it's gonna work out for you if you give it your very all, like, everything that you got. And it's not easy to do that by any means. I'm
no,
not saying that from that POV, but if you put in as much as you can, the best that you think you can, you are gonna see results. And if it doesn't happen, then maybe what exactly you're doing might not be the right approach.
yeah,
I feel that when it comes down to content creation, there is a big aspect of luck. It cannot deny that there is luck. Like, you can post the best piece of content ever and the algorithm just doesn't like it and you're screwed. But if you do it enough, eventually you will have that big breakthrough. Like there's so much like now that I've gotten into like TikTok creators that do so many clever and unique things. I'm like, oh my God, like I never knew about this. Same thing with Twitch. Like when I first came into Twitch, I didn't know half of the creators. And I'm like, oh my God, there's so many people that are doing such amazing things. So yeah, I think if you give it your all, you will 100% see growth.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
I got into Twitch because my best mate told me to give it a go because he think it would be quite funny just to see me on
Hmm.
his phone playing games. And like me and Metal met through Dead by Daylight. We were playing whack-a-mole on Dead Dog Saloon. He was Huntress and I was
Mm.
Leon. But it's like for me, I always say, look, streaming anything or even like content creation, it's more like a marathon than it is a race. This shit does take
Yes.
time. Don't
Hmm.
get bummed out if after a month you only end up getting one viewer per stream.
Yep.
It gradually happens. But like you said, luck does come into play as well, especially with like
Hmm.
YouTube videos and TikTok stuff like that.
Yep.
Um, but mate, honestly, thank you for that input. That was
Of course.
amazing. Um,
Happy
but
to
yeah,
help.
now obviously besides DVD and streaming, obviously when you're on your downtime and you're relaxing,
Hmm.
what's like your sort of safe space in regards to games that you like to dabble in?
Ooh. Yeah, I as of recently, nothing much. I've been go, 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 which I'm happy about because I've been so lazy for the past like 2 years now. It's been that. But as for games, I got into Oblivion recently. I never played the original, so I've been
All
enjoying
right, okay.
that. I Everybody raved about Expedition 33, so I had to give it a try, and I was hooked instantly. I recently started playing the new Elden Ring, which has been absolutely amazing. Been having a
Like a
lot of fun.
night
I've
tree
been
or something?
Night Rain, yeah.
Oh,
I've
Night
been
Rain,
joking with
sorry.
Otson. I'm like, you got to do your hitless run now, buddy. Get on it, chop chop. Um, there is I forgot the name of the game. Oh man. Oh, that's gonna bug me now. But just for like classics that I really like, I enjoy Witcher, as I'm sure you guys realize by now. Seven Days to Die was a big one that I played a lot of. The classics, like I got into content creation because of Call of Duty, so every year I do play COD, play Warzone, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Apex was one of those that hooked me a little bit. For a while, Marvel Rivals as well. And then that's about it. I guess Minecraft I have to say because it was my past and I played a lot of that. Outside of games though, like I like to paint. Painting is pretty fun for me,
All right,
very
okay.
relaxing. And I like fishing, I guess. And
Nice.
unfortunately, I love to gamble. So that is I always have stories with like Polly and I every time I see him we go gambling. So there's always stories some way somehow.
Oh,
And
it's Paulie
those
the
those
bad
are
influence then.
no, it's oh, well, you know what? We can blame him. We can blame him. Yes, we'll blame
Yeah, yeah.
him. It's not me. It's not me.
Yeah, because like
Uh,
like like for me, games, my go-to game when I stop streaming DVD or whatever game, I
mhm.
love Daisy. I absolutely loved it. I've been
Ah,
playing that
that's a
game for
good one.
years.
Yeah.
Um, Expedition 33, Metal got me into that. I've never been a big fan of turn-based games.
Mhm.
Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal
Yeah.
game.
So good. Yeah.
Um, Metal is a hardcore fan of like Elden Ring and Dark Souls. He
Mhm.
knows more about it than I do. Obviously, when he was naming those bosses, I was just smiling and nodding. I haven't got a clue what
Yeah,
I'm
you're like,
talking
"Ah."
about. Yeah, Daisy's my go-to. I used to play a lot of COD back in the day, but for me, I
Yeah.
just find COD's gone sort of downhill.
Yeah.
Um, it's
Yeah.
become more Fortnitey, like especially with the skins. Like the
Mhm.
COD I grew up with
I
was
agree.
World of War. Like it was dark, it was
Mm.
gruesome, and now I
Yeah.
got bloody. It seems like I got Nicki Minaj running across the map with a
Yeah.
sniper.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I used to sink a lot of time into Fallout as well. I
Yeah.
love
Same.
I
Yeah.
used to love Bethesda games. But again, they've sort of gone downhill, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's it's a lot of the AAA games. They just bring
Yeah.
in
They've.
half-baked games and like we're not
Yeah.
paying $60 or $70 just to play
Right.
test your game. Just
Yep.
release your game in a full state. Um,
Yep.
but Mel, what's
You're
your
right.
your sort of downtime games you like to play?
Probably not similar to both of you, really. Literally mentioned them all. But at the moment, I've been playing League of Legends because I love
Mm.
myself and love playing League of Legends. But yeah, that's been like my game I've been playing recently. But again, I played Fallout, like Resident Evil
Yeah.
again. I do yearly
Yeah,
playthroughs
Resident
of
Evil, yeah.
from like 1 to
Good
4.
one, yeah.
What else? Silent Hills.
I'm yet to play Silent Hill. I've heard good things. So.
Yeah, Silent Hill,
Nice.
the remake, is a masterpiece.
Mm.
It is really, really good. And because they just extended some parts, because it's actually longer than the actual
Mhm.
original, but how they just extended it, it was really good. It's really well done.
Mm.
And they've always kept the original in the remake as well. So you go past few areas that you would do in the original and give it a quick nod
Yeah.
saying like, oh, this is what was old, but this is what is new now. But
That's nice.
yeah, the Silent Hill 2, definitely recommend playing it. It's a fantastic game. The voice acting is phenomenal in that game. Completely
I'll have to
makes
take a
it.
look. It's been on my list.
Mm. Yeah, it's a phenomenal game because I played the original, let's say 20 odd years ago. Then I
Yeah.
played this one.
Yeah.
I was actually blown away by it. Really, really well done. Because like the company, I think it's Bloober. They've
Mm.
sort of done games in the past and not really done well, but they've took this and smashed it out of the park with Silent Hill 2. And like highly, highly
Not bad.
recommend it to anyone that hasn't played it. It's phenomenal.
I gotta get on it then.
Mm.
I gotta get on it.
Yeah, you got the metal seal of approval there, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm quite harsh on games. Like,
You are very
yeah, I'm
harsh
quite harsh.
sometimes.
I nitpick everything. But with Silent Hill 2, I've got nothing against it at all. Like, I've really enjoyed it. And
Alright.
there's 8 different endings as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
8 different
good.
endings.
I like those. I like the different
Mm.
ending games.
And some of the endings are quite
Very
unique.
unique.
Very
Yeah.
unique. I won't say none, obviously, for
Yeah, we won't
spoiler
spoil it.
reason. Won't spoil, but some of them are very, very unique. Like out the park, you wouldn't even think they'd be in a game like Silent Hill. So
Yeah, like imagine if you was on ecstasy and you'd go, right, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Put that in.
Alright, well damn.
Yeah, like I've only played the originals. I haven't played the remake, but yeah, Metals give me sort of high hopes for the remake. So I'm gonna have to sink my teeth into that. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to upgrade my PC. I gotta top it up with engine oil. It's rather old. Yeah, I
That's
got a
fair.
999cc PC. But yeah, so obviously with Dead by Daylight, so firstly, are you hopeful for its future? And well, yeah, actually, yeah. Are you hopeful for its future? And like, especially, let's say,
I
in the next 5 years, at least.
I'd say so. I feel like this year especially will be probably their peak for a while with FNAF. Like I think FNAF's gonna blow it out the water, man. Like we've already seen the numbers on PTP. I knew that this was gonna be huge, but I can just imagine how big it's gonna be. And then as soon as like all those FNAF players are in the game, we've already seen him make some pretty good quality of life changes and more to come to adhere to these newer players. And some of the vets, but let's be honest, more so the newer players.
Yeah,
Um, and then, like, right after you're having another licensed chapter, right? You're gonna get 2 survivors, probably Walking Dead, right? That's automatically gonna be huge because if you're even remotely a horror fan, you're gonna be sucked into that. So then as soon as, like, you're digesting all of that, like, Witcher's in there as well, so if you're a Witcher fan, you're loving that. Then you'll get a chance, I believe next is their original killer, right? You'll get a chance to see what they do originally, and if it's anything like The Unknown, I think it's gonna once again be amazing.
yeah.
So then I think 2V is it 2v8? There's a game mode or something that comes out during that time. I don't remember the roadmap off the top of my head. And then I think there's another licensed chapter that comes out with 2 survivors again and a killer, if I'm not mistaken from the roadmap. So as soon as you're digesting the new content, you get that. And I believe in between there's like sections. You know what? Let me pull up the roadmap. I'm gonna look 'cause now I'm curious.
Because I was
But
surprised because obviously
mhm,
they talked about the quality of life changes, so I thought they
yes,
may tone it down with the content and sort of improve on like some of the bugs, stuff like that.
same.
But they're still ramping the content. So
They're
like
going crazy with it. Yeah.
yeah, because like for me, DVD for me is like a love-hate relationship. Sometimes I absolutely love it,
Mhm.
sometimes I hate it.
Same.
Um,
Yep.
but deep down, I want to see this game succeed. I want to see, the longevity extend for this game.
Right.
I am concerned on certain aspects because, like you said, I feel that the game is tailoring to the newer players, especially like with the Pippin system.
Mm,
For me, there's no need for that anymore. Obviously,
yeah.
they've hidden the grade system until end game. Um,
Mhm.
for me, that just sort of says, right, that's how long you've spent time on that certain individual. Um, and yeah, that's my only nitpicks with DVD. Really, it's just some of
I
the bugs, and it's tailoring to newer survivors, which
yeah.
I understand is good for business, but
I unfortunately think that is their new approach. That every time that and it's tricky because as a veteran player, I would love for them, absolutely love for them to tailor more towards the veteran players. But then I look at other games that do that. Uh, and then I'm like, like majority of the people that play are more casual. They are newer to the game. So I understand it from both point of views, right? Like I'm the veteran. I want them to tailor to me, but then I realize like 80% of the people are casual. And then I'm like, I understand why they're doing
yeah,
these things as well. So it's tricky. Definitely is a tricky one. I wish there was like a big split. And I think with some of the quality of life things that they're doing does help out some of the higher skill players. But then they make changes like certain killers can't do flicks anymore. Or, you can't flashlight burn certain characters. And I feel that that skill expression that only more the veteran players knew, it kind of sucks because now it's like everyone's on that level of if you're brand new or if you're a veteran, you're pretty much in the same scale. And I like games that allow you to express skill.
yeah,
I feel like that's a better way. And I feel like they're moving away from something like that, which personally I'm not a fan of. But I get it, like I said, with all the new players coming in, wanting everyone to just be on that equal leveling field. I got the roadmap here as well.
hmm
So in July, we have a licensed chapter with 2 new survivors, which I presume is The Walking Dead, unless that's the chapter way in November. You don't
yeah,
really. We have a rift that comes out as well and a modifier, all in July. So that's going to be huge. As you're digesting that, by mid August, you're getting 2v8 again. And this is the iteration they said is going to have, you're playing as killer, but you can also wait in a survivor queue as well, play survivor, and then you come back to your killer game, which is amazing. I think people will love that. Then, right as soon as that's done, you get your new chapter with a brand new killer, brand new survivor, which is going to be the original. I believe they said it's Asian folklore. And the last Asian folklore they did, if I'm not mistaken, was Oni,
Onryo.
which was amazing. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, Unreal. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but that was their licensed one, right? So
Oh
the
yeah, if
Elder
it's
folklore
original,
stuff
yeah,
is really good. Yeah, Elder
yeah,
licensed stuff is really good too. Then there's a modifier in September, a new Rift in October. We obviously in October also get their event, right? Which is always big for
yeah,
Halloween. Then there's automatically a new license chapter again in November with a new killer and 2 new survivors, 2 V8 returns. Then they kind of digress in December with their in-game event, a new Rift, then a new survivor, a new realm. Like, what does that even mean? Then another in-game event and a Rift. So no matter what, like for the new players, there's always gonna be something. And for us as well, like there's no breaks. Like by the time you play the PTB, there's new content coming out. By the time you get the new
yeah,
content, there's a PTB out. By the time you get that, there's another in-game event. So what they've done this year, I feel, is really trying to captivate that audience, which I feel years prior they failed. With
yeah,
Resident Evil, they failed. They failed twice. And it was just lack of good updates, lack of good content, lack of good marketing, and the numbers went up, they were super inflated, and then it went straight back down. And I think with
yeah,
FNAF, they know that this is their biggest year, so they
hundred
have to
percent,
keep these people.
yeah,
And from the conversations and interviews that I've done with the devs, they're already living like 3, 4 years in the future, planning out content. So I think for the next 5 years, so they're pretty much guaranteed for us, and we're probably still going to get some really, really, really cool things. And I think that they're in it for the long run. I think Dead by Daylight's one of those games that we've seen has no competition, which I mean sucks because competition's absolutely amazing.
yeah, it
Um,
is.
but they have been their own driving force right now, trying to one up themselves every single year. And if they're already like 3 years in advance, like I can only imagine what
Yeah,
cool things they have planned because they're already super hyped for year 10. I'm like, how do you
Yeah.
one up FNAF? Like, what are you getting? So I'd
Yeah.
presume it'd be Jason. Like, I feel like that's the only thing that could do it, but who knows? Like, they've done some crazy curveballs this year with like Witcher. I keep coming back
Yeah.
to Walking Dead as well. So who knows, man? I
Yeah.
think that they have a very bright future, and I'm looking forward to the next few years coming for sure. But like I said, I do wish when it comes up to balancing itself in the game that they do adhere a little bit more to the vets and the people that do end up sinking in thousand upon thousands of hours into their game because we've been playing for a while. It'd be nice to get
Yeah.
some cool things in there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope though with The Walking Dead, if they do add Rick Grimes, if they do add voice lines,
Mhm.
even if they only add one, it has to be Carl. Just that. I'll be happy with
Yeah.
that. um,
That would be
but yeah,
fun.
I am excited, but I am sort of concerned slightly as well. Like currently the queue times, they're
Mm,
always going to be bad, especially for Killer, because also when a new Killer releases, everyone's going to want to play Killer, which is
yeah.
understandable.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like some of the queue times are not the greatest. I don't think there
Mm-mm,
is
not at
really a
all.
way to fix it, to be honest with you. Um,
Yeah, it's tricky. I memeingly told him that there should be like a skill check simulator or some way that we can 1v1 like a bot while we wait just to keep our mind going
Mm.
while we wait in the queues.
oh, it's
But
like you
yeah.
get sent to the gulag, you might be able to come out.
Yeah, literally. Literally.
Um, what's your opinion? Because I've had a lot of people mention in chat and stuff like that. What's your opinion about behavior adding like a ranked system into DBD,
Mm.
a more competitive side?
S- So when I was more new to DBD, I this was something that I advocated forever. I was like, we need ranked mode, casual rank. Like this would be so amazing. And then eventually, like a lot of smarter people at the time told me, like, well, when they split the queues, you're going to be waiting for a year to get them to a lobby. And I was like, nah, I guess you're right. Now we have seen them split the queues successfully. And when I believe when FNAF comes out, it might even be three. You'll have your regular queue, you'll have the queue for going to the new map, and then you will have your anniversary, unless they keep it to two.
Yeah,
But I see no reason for them not to have a ranked queue at this point in time. And I think that comp play is something that most of the veterans kind of go towards and they gravitate towards. And if they nurture that, they can do honestly whatever the hell they want in their regular queues. They can make whatever changes, but have a full-fledged comp scene where you could ban certain things, where there's like votes for banning, where you can change specified tiles to only spawn. So that way it's actual skill expression and not just RNG.
yeah,
And I think if they really 100% fully send it for comp mode, it can happen. I feel internally behavior, and this isn't me seeing this is just from the outside of me just being a player,
yeah,
struggles with knowing internally whether DVD is comp or competitive, the same way that we struggle thinking is DVD comp or competitive. And because of that, a lot of the decisions are all over the place. I know there was one time where they really tried making it comp when they were like, you can join teams or something like that. I don't
oh
fully
yeah,
remember. It's something like that. And then they make these decisions like removing all the skill expression to then appeal to the casual player. So it's like, which side are you picking? Now they're introducing statistics, which is more of a comp kind of thing, right? I guess casuals will still enjoy it nonetheless,
yeah,
but they're also working on improving custom games, bringing in a better spectator mode, etc. My only thought process is they're doing these things because they then want to adhere to comp. So I feel that if they fully fledged out the custom game scene and the comp scene, which essentially would be custom games and or having this ranked kind of queue, again, they can do whatever they want for casuals. Ranked would be its own thing, and I think everybody would be happy about it. Like if you
yeah,
play comp, sure, you know you're going to wait in a little bit longer queues, but most people will probably end up playing ranked as well. Most games have this, and I think they've been really looking into kind of competing with some of these like AAA titles or using their ideas. I remember when there was a different lead at the time, they were looking a lot at Apex, for example, and trying to utilize some of the ideas and mechanics they had in their game.
yeah,
So I can only presume they're doing the same thing now with other big names. So I feel like that's just something they have to do at some point in time. Like we'll have the player base now. So that won't be an excuse anymore, I feel. And if they consider bringing in an estimated like queue time, so it'll even tell you like, hey, if you're in the highest rank you're gonna end up waiting like 15 minutes for a game. Are you okay with that? And then you can determine. I
Yeah,
think if they do that, it'll be an absolutely fantastic thing. And then have a ban system, have a voting system, whatever the case may be, fully fledge it to be comp. And then from that point, let people have their fun. Like, do what you
yeah.
got to do at that point. And then you could even, if you want to go even crazier, have comp balancing and have casual balancing. Like there's certain things that you can't do in comp, but you could do in casual because whatever. And so many other games utilize features like this. So I think it'll be a good thing. I think it could be a good thing.
Oh, I literally I couldn't agree with you more there.
Yeah.
Like for me, especially if they did and add a well, a competitive aspect like ranked, hundred
Yeah.
percent, I'll be joining that queue because
Same.
you always want to improve yourself in any game, really. Um,
Hmm.
I think it would be a really smart move because it does seem like what you mentioned with the better spectator aspects and more sort of. It seems like they added more layouts to the custom game aspect. It does seem like they sort of build in the
Hmm.
foundation of ranked or competitiveness. But it would be nice. Because I know Metal deep down, if there was a rank system, you'd probably come back.
Yeah, that's again. I think a rank system would prolong the life of DVD as well.
Yep.
Because
100%. Yeah.
I'm someone who needs a goal. In DBD,
Yeah.
I've literally done everything. The only thing I ain't done is win
Yeah.
streaks. Literally, I've got everything. I need something to aim for. So if there was a
Yeah.
rank system, that would drive me to come back and achieve the highest rank.
Yep.
So I don't think
I,
why they wouldn't do it
I
personally.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way when it comes down to games. Like,
Mm.
if there's a game where there's a main quest and I complete that main quest, I'm not doing any of my side quests. I'm just not doing it.
Mhm.
And I think DVD is kind of the same way. There's no real main goal. Like once you've hit the top of the food chain, like that's it. And what's interesting to me is that they already kind of artificially have this with MMR. I know everybody looks back at old school DVD and they're like, when MMR wasn't in the game, it was so much fun, so much better. And I feel like that's a lot of casual talk. And same for me though, like if I want to play like just whatever and just have like a really funny, silly game or test out a silly build, you hopped into a game and that's how it used to be. Now it's like if for me, if I go into a game and try to test out something funny, 5 gens pop up. It's
Yeah.
GG's. Like I'm over it.
Mhm.
And same
Yeah.
thing on Survivor's side. If I try just playing with my friends casually, like I'm gonna get the sweatiest killer ever because we're pretty high MMR. We've been playing for so long. So I feel MMR has indirectly already done that. So if you just separate the queues, literally, here's MMR, and then you rank up according to this, and here's a casual with no MMR, you're just into whatever quickest lobby, a quick play essentially.
Yeah,
I see no reason for them not to do it. I really don't. So
yeah,
yeah.
because there's not a whole lot of competitors out there. Obviously, the more recent one was well, you had like TCM. You had
Hmm.
oh, what's the clowns? Killer
Killer
Clowns
Clowns.
from
Yeah.
Outer Space.
Yeah. Killer Clowns. Yeah.
Killer
Obviously
clowns. Yeah.
that came out, and that practically just went. Um, but for me, like DVD is sat on a golden egg because they're not
Hmm.
specified to a specified IP. They can just bring in all these
Yeah.
licenses. Um, but if DVD were to ever die, touch wood, it doesn't. But if it does, it's because of behavior themselves, in my opinion. That's the only way
Yeah.
they would ever go down.
I
Um,
agree.
but I do want to see this game thrive because, again, arguably, I wouldn't be where I am with streaming without it. I've tried to stream other games, haven't been successful. DVD is like my golden egg, I guess.
Same.
Um,
Same.
but yeah, I am looking forward to the future of DVD. Also, you mentioned obviously with the Resident Evil chapters, you hit that you hit the nail on the head with that. The spike was incredible, especially for Nemesis,
Yep.
and then it just went
Hmm.
straight back down.
Yep.
But if they can just maintain that momentum and just polish the aspects, this could be absolutely humongous. This year alone for behavior could be absolutely phenomenal.
Agreed. 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 Yeah. I think they I hope that they know that, and I feel that they do know that. Like every year, they
Yeah.
see DVD grow and grow and grow, and this, I feel, unless they have something really big planned, which I don't think anything is gonna come near FNAF ever,
Hmm.
ever. Like I think this will be the peak for the game in its entire lifespan, and I hope it's not, but I really do think it is. I think they have to put 150% into this, and I think they are because they like even when I went to visit, like everybody, even the community managers were just on it with this quality of life changes. Like they know this is something that they can't fuck up. They
Yeah,
cannot mess up with this. And even with like delays for certain things, we've seen a lot of things being shifted. It's all because of FNAF. So I think they know that they can't mess this one up either. So
yeah,
hopefully this year is really good. And I think with all the good licensed content, I'll hopefully keep those people in circulation or at least bringing them back now that it'll be a bigger pool of players. So we'll see. Hopefully
yeah,
some good changes. But from what they've announced, it seems good on paper. We just have to see how it's executed now. Because
exactly.
there's certain things that I feel are kind of like meh. Like when I watched a stream and I seen like the anniversary event, I was a little bit disappointed. I was like, well, you're gonna make a quality of life change to something that won't be here anymore. And then
Yeah,
there's pretty much nothing else. So I'm like, I don't know statistics wise if it's just a really good event and people just like it, so that's why you're doing that. But those are the kind of things that I feel like they cannot. I feel like those are the fuck ups that will eventually they'll look back on it and they're like, damn, if only we did something bigger. Like imagine if this year was their brand new event where it was completely new. And so even the veteran players will be like, oh my God, this is something new. Let's go and get it. And then all the new players are like, ooh, let's see what's going on. Now it's like, okay, if you're a veteran player, you literally played the exact same event last year. So if you don't
yeah,
care about it, then you won't play. It was like, okay, it's just whatever. I don't know
yeah,
how that looks at numbers wise. It's just me saying it. Like I don't care about the event personally, but it might just be me. But those are the kind of things that I feel that they cannot do. Um, so we'll see how the rest of the year is executed, but hopefully it's better than that. I'd say.
yeah. Yeah, no, completely agree. Obviously, before we wrap up, I do have one question for you, King. I'm wondering if
Mm,
you know. So, another thing that in my chart they mention constantly, and even myself, I'm wondering if you
mhm,
have the answer. With the add-ons, obviously they've changed the colors, so it's gone from brown, yellow, green,
mhm.
purple, red. Now, obviously, they've taken out yellow. Do you know the
Yeah.
reason why they've done that?
I'd presume that it's for all the new players. I feel that that's just the kind of industry standard of how loot is distributed in almost every other game because yellow always is associated with something that's much more rare because like legendary. So I think it's just for the new players that are coming in with FNAF to understand that. I don't know if that is the reason, they never told me, but I'd presume that's probably the reason why. So when all the new people come in, it's not confusing, like, why is a yellow add-on like this color? I don't know if it will mean much, but I think in a few
Yeah.
years, eventually we'll forget. But um I'd assume that's the reason why. The same reason like when they changed the HUD
Mm,
and everybody was like, "What the hell is this HUD?" And then they eventually made it a little bit better. I think that was because they thought there was a ton of Resident Evil players that were gonna come in, which it was true, and then in a couple of years, like, we don't even remember what the old HUD looks like. So I think it's the same kind of idea behind that. It's like, okay, a lot of players are gonna come in, let's just make it the industry standard for the rarity. They didn't tell
yeah.
us that, but I'd assume that's
You know what? That's probably the more plausible one I've heard. For me,
mhm.
I thought it was due to like I'm not colorblind. I thought it might have been the accessibility of that. Maybe I don't
Right.
know. But yeah,
I
I think
I
I
have
think you're
seen a lot of
probably right.
people. Yeah, I've seen some people saying that it was actually the opposite, like, it was a little bit harder for them to see some of those
Oh, right,
things,
okay.
and they wanted, I think they wanted, like, shapes in the background so it's easier to identify with a colorblind setting, so
Hmm.
I assume that it's more than likely for the newer players, so
Oh, fair enough. King, you have been absolutely amazing. Thank you ever
thank
so much
you.
for
Thank you for
joining us.
having me.
Oh, mate, it's been an absolute honor to have you. I've had
Been
a
super
really good
fun.
time, and I hope you have as well.
I have. I'm sad it's ending. It has been super fun.
Maybe we could get you back on in the future. You never know. It
For
would be
sure. I'm down.
it would be
I
lovely
am
to have you
down.
back on. But yeah, you are going to be our closing episode for our, as we call, season. So we're ending the
Mm.
season on a bang, and then we'll come
Oh my
back
god,
and
I'm
we'll
a season finale. I love it.
um, but yeah, obviously, all of King's links on YouTube will be posted in the description below. Please, please, please check out the King. He is, as you could tell, he's a funny guy, really nice guy, and he's very knowledgeable as well in Dead by Daylight. Um,
Thank you.
but yeah, Metal, have you got anything to add at all, mate?
And you got one question.
Ooh,
It goes to the both of you.
Go.
If you
Oh,
can
right,
make
okay.
any game, any type of game, what would you make?
Oh, bloody hell.
Any type of
Yeah,
game.
mine would be like a survival horror type, because I've grew up with survival horror like Resi, Silent Hills. So
Hmm.
that what I would personally make a survival horror.
Oh, you know what? I love me some open world games with like tons of quests. I'm making
Hmm.
the most unnecessarily detailed open world game ever. Like there's
You
so
can
much
smell the
details for
grass.
no reason. Yeah, like there's just so much lore and details and silly mechanics for no reason that you're like, why is this even a mechanic? Like I'm making that game. That's the game that I'm making.
Why can you play with the grass? Like,
Yeah, literally. Why is there a mini game here? What's going on?
um, I don't know about mine. I would probably say the same as you, Metal. I grew up with survival horror games. I'll probably do something like that. But I think I would
Fair.
implement mine into like a VR, like a full VR body thing. So if you could
Ah,
feel
yeah,
like
that'd be
someone's like
good.
tapping you, I think that
Oh
would,
God.
yeah, you get streamers literally shitting themselves on stream.
Yeah.
That would make some good content. But yeah, well, until then, take care, look after yourself, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Toodles.
Doodles.
Doodles.